Hey guys. Okay, so earlier this week, B and I had a situation where we almost pooped our pants. So I thought, hey, why don't I share the learnings, let's just say, from this experience so that hopefully you guys don't face the same situation that we did. So to go back a step, let's say a few weeks ago, can't remember when it was, we lodged an application for a brand new house in a map traditional building character overlay. So like character area for short. Now the property's in Bulimba. Now, when we lodge this application, it's gone through the full assessment process. It's at that final checking stage. The assessment manager happens to give us a call and he casually says, guys, I've just had a look at the history here and I've noticed there's a building approval from October 1946. And we sat there and went, no, you don't just happen to see that. You just don't happen to do those searches. Like, can you just unsee that? Forget you ever saw it. I mean, we don't need this right now, okay? Unfortunately, he couldn't unsee what he'd already seen. So therefore, we'd faced with this situation where we're like, oh bugger, the house that was there, that was going to be removed to be able to make way for this new house, which we're seeking approval for, yeah, it's kind of gone already. Yeah, awkward. So then we had to do this mad scramble to try and work out, okay, yes, it was approved in October 1946, but is there any chance that the approval was sort of sat on for a while and they didn't actually start construction until 1947? Thankfully, like I'm talking, oh my goodness, thankfully, we did find that evidence. So it turned out in this situation, they sat on it for like 6 months or something like that. I mean, talk about lucky, right? But anyway, this whole experience has sort of led me to reevaluate our processes, I guess. So normally what happens is when I get a job, if I'm asked to look at whether a house is protected, I'll look at the 1946 aerial photo in the first instance. Then I'll jump across to Street View and I'll have a look and work out, does it give me pre-47 vibes? So does it look like it could have been built prior to 1947? If it's in the aerial photo, well, it's obvious it's pre-47. If it's not in the aerial photo but giving me pre-47 vibes, then I'll say to people, hey, I strongly encourage that you do some research to work out, could it have been built between that small window between when the photo date was taken, or the photo was taken, let me get my words out, and the end of the year, or was it done later, etc., etc. In this instance, thankfully I wasn't asked to comment on it, so I didn't actually need to check it, but if I had been, I would have looked at the Street View photo and I would have gone, nah, that's not pre-47. Like, I hate to say this about houses, but it was an ugly house. I'm talking FC sheeting, tile roofing, something you'd expect out of the 50s or 60s, like really, really cheap construction. It was ugly. So yeah, if I'd been asked to look at it, I would have gone, that's gotta be post 47. I would have put the disclaimer out there to cover my backside just to be sure, but I wouldn't have insisted that they had to go through that extra checking process because it wouldn't have seemed necessary. Now, going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm always going to jump into the Q imagery site. Now, I'll try to include a link to a video that we recorded previously that tells you how to navigate that site. But I'd jump in there and I'd search one of the earlier photos. So I'm talking like the 1949 or the 1951 photo. I'd jump in there and I'd see if the house was shown in those photos. If the site is vacant in those early photos, sweet. You can assume, well, you can't assume, you can pretty much conclude that the house was post 46. However, if you do see the house in those earlier photos, then what I'd be strongly recommending you do is do a paid building search. So a search of council's records to find out when the building approval was issued for the house. Now, if the building approval was issued in 1946 or earlier, then that would be an alarm bell to say, okay, we've got to do more detailed research. So that's when you've got to get into the heritage stuff. It's messy, it's painful. I know everyone's going to bitch and moan about it, but you just got to suck it up because the onus is on you to prove or to be assured that the house was built after 1946 before you remove it. So there, moral of the story, don't just use Street View like I've always done to work out whether something's giving you, man, I need coffee today, whether something's giving you pre-47 vibes. Please use our experience, jump into Q imagery, do that extra check, go get the paid building search if you need to, do the extra research, because ain't nobody got time for a legal battle with council over the fact that the house was actually protected and you went and got it approved for removal. No one wants that stress, trust me. Okay, that covers off everything I want to talk about today. As I always say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got three. Number 1. The advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number 2. Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number 3. What was my number 3? Oh yeah. The views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all. Bye.